This is Under the Crossed Swords, a podcast series from Mosquito Nautica. This podcast series tells the real-life stories and experiences of the soldier sailors of the British Royal Army Service Corps Water Transport Division, also known as the War Department Fleet.
He never felt that we were soldiers as such. We were just different. So I used to resent what they call discipline.
Their stories and biographies have been collected and preserved by people like Dave Fricker, whose father and uncle are central characters in the periods and events covered in these recordings. Sergeant Maurice Fricker, also known as Biff to most, and to his crews as Badge, was a cool-headed professional soldier and skippered many craft in environments such as Egypt and the Far East, all the way down to East Africa, and even later saved his son's life during a terrifying hovercraft accident.
She couldn't right herself and she just flipped over. Now, as soon as he was in a position to give support to other survivors, he was doing that.
Similarly, his brother Mick saw service in the Middle East and the Far East, working alongside the Special Forces on clandestine anti-terror operations. Jeff Horan recounts a sea journey through the Mediterranean by Army motor fishing vessel, and several others speak of their adventures and experiences too.
And we turned our backs and closed our eyes, and you still saw the flash. It was an ugly scene, but we saw the great mushroom cloud and all that stuff.
The period covers the time immediately following World War II, extending through the 50s and the 60s, where events such as the Suez Crisis, the Borneo conflict, UK missile testing, and the Cold War ensured these men of the Army's Navy had plenty of stories to tell. They crewed all kinds of boats, from assault boats to landing craft, some used in the D-Day landings, and others initially built for the, ultimately unrequired, invasion of Japan, always flying their distinctive ensign. I'm Peter, and I'll be reading from the biographies collected so that their stories can be told at last. It will also feature interviews where I've been able to get them. Much of these recordings I read out in audiobook fashion, so I'm conscious that I'm likely to have mispronounced several of the place names, boat names and acronyms. The series can be listened to in any order, so I've not numbered the episodes, and I'll add to the episodes as further biographies and interviews become available. There is a Facebook page, Twitter account and Instagram account where I'll post associated photos and further information, and you're welcome to the gratuitous pleasure of getting in touch and correcting any of those mispronunciations or historical inaccuracies, or indeed just to share related stories or photos that you may have. These are each titled Mosquito Nautica and have the fairly distinctive mosquito avatar. I'm more than happy to embrace this brave new world of instant feedback. I hope you enjoy listening to these lesser-known experiences of these brave and unusual soldiers who served under the crossed swords.
I've got to be fair, Peter, I've never liked bullshit for bullshit's sake. But you get away from that in Fort Victoria, you're left to a large extent. And that followed me right through the Army. I detested something which wasn't necessary to do.